Hello, and welcome back to Kim Reads. Today we are going to read Barbie and Sleeping Beauty. Long ago, in a distant land, a beautiful baby was born to a king and queen. It was a happy time in the kingdom. Seven fairies who lived in the kingdom were chosen to be the princess's godmothers. At a grand ceremony, each was to present the baby with the gift of a special talent or virtue. Suddenly, a very old fairy appeared. No one had seen her before. She was given a seat at the banquet table, but since there were no more golden plates or jeweled cups, she was given only a plain place setting. "How dare the king and queen not invite me?" the old fairy muttered to herself. "They'll be sorry." The youngest fairy happened to hear and became fearful for the princess. After the banquet, she hid behind a velvet curtain. She planned to present the final gift after the old fairy had given hers. One by one, the fairies presented their gifts of beauty, charm, and grace, and talents for singing, dancing, and playing music. What a lucky princess. Finally, it was the old fairy's turn. "There will come a day when the princess will prick her finger on a tiny spindle and die," she cried. Everyone gasped. The queen began to weep, and then the youngest fairy appeared from behind the curtain. "The princess shall not die," she announced. "Instead she will weep for 100 years. Instead she will sleep for 100 years. Then she will be awakened by a king's son. This is my gift." The fairy's gift did not make the king feel better. "All spindles are to be removed from the kingdom," he roared, "and anyone found with a spinning wheel will be punished." "16 years passed, and the princess grew to be a beautiful young woman. One day she came upon an old woman high in the attic. The woman was busily spinning, for she had never heard the king's orders. Fascinated, the princess asked for a turn, and pricked her finger on the spindle. She dropped to the floor, instantly asleep. The fairy who had saved the princess' life heard what happened and became worried that the princess would be lonely when she awoke. So the fairy cast a spell that put everyone in the palace to sleep for 100 years. Instantly, a thick hedge of thorns sprang up all over the castle. Thorns that magically parted one day, 100 years later, for a prince. How the prince gasped when he entered the castle and found everyone asleep. But most amazing of all was the beautiful girl he found in the royal chamber. As he knelt before her, she awoke and said, "Is it you, my prince?" "Yes, it is I," exclaimed the prince. He had already fallen deeply in love. That very evening, the prince and princess married, and the royal couple lived happily ever after. We thank you for listening. We have one more story to go in Barbie Fairy Tales, and we'll be done. Goodbye.